you cannot say omuzadde tasobya oba omuzadde tayogerwako, nsobya as omuzadde because nina omwana wange wa myaka 21. If I do something wrong, omwana wange alina okubwaŋŋamba, nina okutula ne muwuliriza. Sisobola kuva buvyeri ne mulangira kino ne muvuma ne nkola ki without ever listening to them. So during that time, I was so tormented when I came back by my own mother, by her children, and also my father died. And then that's only 3 weeks after Japan. But what killed me the most about the Japan saga is that I wanted to ask my mother for once, for the very first time, because I've never asked her to talk about, I've never asked her for us to discuss anything. I came back late in the night, she was sleeping, I left early in the morning, she was maybe in her room, then I went again. Then the following day, I found her in the house, so I told her, I had sent you a message, I had wished we could talk about something. I had never seen her like this. She was kneeling down, I don't know if she was praying, but I don't know, she was kneeling on her bed, I don't know what she was doing, maybe she was praying. She came out and banged the door and told me, before I even said what I wanted to talk about. I wasn't asking her anything concerning her. I was only going to tell her about the brother who said, yatise bungi nnyo bandi musibiddeyo singa baakasibye ne kasigala yo natisu kyayise. So that's what I wanted to talk to her about. I was like, why are you telling me that? Do you even know what I'm going to talk about? And she was like, tombulira, she started banging doors. But because I had some things before that I still could not believe until they put her on loudspeakers and started recording, I pulled out my phone because I knew I could not explain these things to anybody. I started recording and following her for the first time. I was even scared because my mom, akuba. Mukambwe mwabo omulaba nga ayogera toyinza oba bw'ayogera nga tomulaba face olowooza muwala muto okujjako ng'omulabika because she has grey hair and what you naye bw'aba ayogera n'amaanyi. When you don't see the head you wouldn't think she's the age she is. She kept on saying things. She would go out and come back. We are in my house. After 5 minutes she comes back and stands in my door, this and that and that. Ugly things that I fear repeating. But one day, I already put in my will that they have to play all these things because I don't want people to come out and talk about me when I'm dead and say all horrible things. I have lots of recordings, lots. If I never talk about them, at least they'll play them for people to know. So that's the only time I ever attempted to talk with my mom to discuss anything that had gone wrong, because I have never confronted anybody, just like I don't clear things in the papers. Even my siblings, when they say anything you've ever had, so that was the only time I thought maybe, because that went so far, I thought we'd talk about it. It came out the way it came out, and that's how I stopped talking to my mother. It's been 11 years. It's coming to 11 years. I can't look at her, I can't hear her voice. Even talking right now, I'm shaking. It makes me sick because then I went on hearing things. I don't know anybody who has disparaged me as much as my mother in this world. I don't know if I've ever had any accusations that have no background at all, that hold no truth at all, like I've had from her. And I'm like, but can my mother ever say that, no, Irene didn't do this? Would she ever fight for me? Would she ever say that, no, this didn't happen? I don't know if there's anybody, if I've ever had any denigrating comments about me like I've had from my own mother. So that's why when people insult me and do things, I'm like, you can say whatever, you're not the most important people in my life. But if the person, the most important, who was my everything, could say such things, then I give up on everybody else. And there's a lot to say, but as I'm telling you now, I've written a book, I have a manuscript. I don't know. I went to a publisher, they read and asked me, how old is this person? How old is your mother? How old is so and so? Can you wait a few years maybe? Well, this is very ugly to say. He said, can you wait for her to die? Because there are things I've had myself, there are things I've seen, but I'm not even talking about hearsay. But only things that I've had, that I've recorded, that are so many. So whatever I was talking about, I was bringing proof, I was bringing recordings. So it was horrible. But there was no way I was going to heal without maybe writing those things down. Maybe if I die, that book will be out and even the audios will be listened to, because I'm going to make it an audible book. So everything I'm talking about will be there. Things said, I have them, because things are very hard to believe when you don't have evidence.